Hey guys, welcome back to another show. We got David and Eddie. We got the Little Guy Nationals DRC champions. What happened? We lost him
Oh, we lost Eddie?
on the start of the show. Well, we'll get him back in. We got David Pike started the DRC. We got Eddie with the Little Guy Nationals. We got racing next week in North Carolina. We got testing. We got all kinds of stuff going on. And well, until Eddie shows back up, Dave, hey, start it off, man.
Yeah, so I started DRC in 2015. I really started it for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, and I wanted to do, how people have beach walks and bowling events and stuff, and I just always wanted to do something for charity drag racing, and it was really going to be a one-time race. I just wanted to get off my chest because I was a little bitter about something. I don't want to get into that, but I did it. People think it was because of my daughter, and it kind of was, but it was more. There was a girl named Kayla James. She raced junior dragsters from down south, and she actually passed away from it. So I wanted to do a race in her memory, and we actually had Outlaw 632 at that race.
Yes, you did.
I think you might have came to that, Patrick, but
I was still in Germany, but I did donate the bracelets and stuff to the race. Yeah.
Yep, I remember that. So I just kind of started. Like I said, I just wanted to do it one time, and I had a lot of racers, maybe 15 or 20 of them, and they were like, "Are you going to do that again?" And I'm like, I didn't think I was going to. They just said it felt good to race for something besides themselves. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I kind of just went with it, and I kind of did it on my own, and then I got in an accident. Eddie's always done the index stuff, and I'm an index racer. And last year I got with Eddie because he kind of didn't really have a place to go. And then also I got hurt, and I felt like I needed help, and it's worked out really good. So that's why me and Eddie will go as long as we can, So
Yeah.
I'm excited about having 632 back. Really am. It's been one of my favorite classes.
Trust me, we're all excited. And I apologize. This is my first time on my phone, and my phone is extremely quiet right now, and I don't have no headphones, so I can't barely hear conversation. So I'm not going to try to speak over anybody. Eddie, welcome to the show. You dropped off right when we started. Tell us about the Little Guy Nationals and everything.
Well, Little Guy Nationals started it was in 2013. I started Little Guy Nationals. Donald Long is the reason for me starting Little Guy Nationals. I went to all his races when he first got started, supporting him and going up to the races up in Georgia. And the more I went, the less I got to race.
Yep.
So one weekend I got there Thursday, and I didn't get to hit the track till like Saturday evening. And I'm like, I was coming home and I looked at my wife and I said, I'm gonna start my own race. And she said, she just looked at me like, yeah, right. I said, no. I said, because there's a lot of index guys that think as much as their car as a guy's got a pro mod. These guys work 40 to 50 hours a week, and they work in the garage and they hand build these cars. And I just feel like, they deserve their own stage. Mm-hmm. And that's how I got started, man. I got started over in Lakeland drag strip over there. Ozzy gave me a shot over there when he had Lakeland and Orlando way back then. And then, Marco was over there, and Danny Bogado was over there for a little while. And I was just, that's where it started. And that started it was all index. It was 750, 650, 550 index and junior dragsters. That was all it was.
Mm-hmm.
And I pushed the local vendors, like all the mom and pop shops,
Yeah.
I got those guys to come on for sponsorship, and and ever since then we've been doing it, and kind of slowed down when Lakeland slowed down. I also didn't want it over in Orlando, so I went to St. Pete for a couple of years or so, and I finally got to Bradenton, and we was having two at Bradenton, and they cut that to one. And I'm like, I started with giving up. Then I'm like, I keep it going, because if I could do one a year, I'd be happy with it. Working with Dave, my son had multiple sclerosis, so he said, "Hey, man, let's do a charity event." So here we are. My biggest thing over the years has been getting sponsorship money. That's been the biggest thing for me. It's always been my struggle for the last 13 years, but somehow I never missed a purse. Because I don't do it for the money, I do it for the love of the index race. I just love the race. I love it. I like heads up racing. I just love heads up racing. If somebody two cars leaving the light at the same time is exciting to me. You know what I mean? I think it puts the driver back in the game too. So that's my story.
Jason and I do the same way, right? We've been doing the 632 stuff for a long time. I've been racing 632 off and on for since I can't remember since when, but the back in the day, 632 racing was all over Florida. Just like all the other classes, there's too many places to go racing, not enough cars per the class. The next thing is just smaller and smaller. Then now we're stuck running. I say stuck at the moment, running PDRA without no other places to race, and that's why Jason was like, "Hey, let's just do this." And the Southern Outlaw 632 thing came on, and then that's we're just going to push ourselves as hard as possible to have not one race, but at least 6 races, and maybe that can all join together if we make our own races. Maybe we'll see what happens, right?
We'll see what happens.
You know what days I miss? I miss Heads Up Madness at Shut Sunshine.
Yeah,
that was the best, man.
St. Pete that was awesome, man.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, you had back then they called them True Street, and you had 750. Of course, you had the index classes, and you had like guys like Shane Stack and those kind of guys just come down there and race. Back then it was awesome. Yeah, back then, man. Troy Senior and Don Long, and it was
it was fun.
Little country. I mean, it was a bunch of people. That place was packed, and it was every 2 months they had it, every 3 months they had it, and on a Saturday, and you can get in the place, man.
They had Outlaw 632 and Open Outlaw. Outlaw 632. We get like 20 to 25 cars almost every race.
Yeah.
And then I think also the car has evolved. And that's the biggest problem with Outlaw 632. The car has evolved over the years.
Right.
And it's going to happen, right? They're all going to, the 550 cars evolved. I mean, what were 550 cars before? They were 650 cars.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants to go faster. And I think the Outlaw car, and I struggle. I have conversations with other racers, and I'm like, when's the last time you really raced? And like, 5 years. I'm like, well, what'd you do with that money for 5 years? That's how I think.
Right.
What'd you do with that money? If you spend $10,000 a year for 5 years, you should have $50,000 sitting somewhere to put into a car. Let's go. Excuse me. I'm like, I'm sometimes I'm a little bit to the point on messages and text messages with some people. I ride Phil Tukey Swills a little hard, and I know, and I can do it because we're both from Massachusetts. We're both Massholes, so we're on the same page. But I ride him like a unicycle in a circus sometimes, and I'm just like, dude, come on now. You know what I mean? It's like, Patrick was bad on him last week. It's like, you need to go on a super diet, and he's like, I gotta find 300 pounds, and I'm like, the numbers that some people come up with their cars weigh, I look at, how's your car weigh that much?
Now, the 632 you guys selling your 632 class you got. Is this extreme? I call them extreme 632 cars.
So our class is going to be more towards the outlaw class. We have the pro 632 rule set for the single 632 or 630 36 jet car. Then we have the 44s and we have a 40s. Whether a single kit or a dual kit, so you can have multiple different by weight. For the cars. Where with PDRA, it was very hard to regulate some of that stuff, so we became a very straight line single 36, spec jet class. Where this one will be a spec jet class because we'll provide jets, but you'll have the options, 3 different options with different weight.
Okay.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah, It's good. That's just like, I was telling you, I look at the rules, I was telling some of the guys that race at Braden a lot of times, well, you can't have this and you can't. I said, look, man, don't nobody build a 550 or 650 car anymore with a 7 AM. You don't have them.
No,
Everybody's got electronics now. You got the grid, or you got you got a race track, you got something. You know what I mean? You can't find those cars, so you got to change the rules. You gotta change some of the stuff in the rules, because I tell you what, big argument I got in with them about 3 years ago. It was shift timer and an RPM shifter. Well, they wanted to ban the shift timer versus the RPM shifter, and I'm
what's the difference?
I said, what's the difference? I said, I don't care if you come with an air shifter, you hand shift it, how you shift it, you shift it. You know what I mean? I said, the goal is run 550 or 650. That's the goal.
Right.
It's like, well, he can do this and he can do that. Yeah, but he still got to run 550 or 650. I mean,
hey, the other person could do the same thing. He just got to, crack that wallet open just a smidge and put a little bit more money into the car.
It's just like I rode up Georgia with my son when he was driving with a 750 car, and 750 car left the line with the wheels in the air and down the track, and I looked at him and I'm like, man, that's a nice converter in that car, And I got back around. These guys running trans brakes, and we're down here in the South. Down here, you can't have a trans brake in a 750 class. It's a quick brake class. So I learned a verbal lesson. It's like, do your homework before you go. You know what I'm saying? That's what I tell the guys all the time. Always read the flyers. Always read the rules before you even load up. Before you even think about going, you got to do all that first. Because
like you said that, Eddie, so our rules differ a little bit from Milan. Milan gives you so many breaks. You got a break for tire size up to this size. Another size gives you another weight break. You got a weight break for this, weight break for that, and So I go, well, with Nicole Liberty from, we're on the phone with Nicole Liberty from Liberty Transmissions. I go, who polices that? Well, it's kind of the honor system.
Okay,
That's like going to a bank with a bunch of thieves and telling nobody, don't steal a dollar. Like, it's going to happen. You know what I mean? Somebody's not going to, it's honest. How do you honor it? It's the honor system.
That's why I call. And
that's why I said to Patrick, I go, let's cut this right down. This is what we're going to do. You want an NA car? It's this, that. And I said, and it's 632 inches. I don't care about small blocks. It's 632 inches. I'm not going to drive ourselves, because we've been through the whole rigmarole at PDRA where we had the multi-kit car and we had this and we had that, and nobody showed up.
Right.
The cars just didn't come. And the cars that were there, they were all running single 36 jet. And then finally we got rid of I call it the Wild West jets. We got rid of the Wild West jets and went to a spec jet. And in one race, I remember I was sitting with Tommy with Tommy on a cruise a couple of weeks ago, and he goes, "Man, when you implemented that spec jet," he goes, "I was waiting to see who was going to slow down, and everybody slowed down. Not everybody, but like out of the 12, 14 cars that show up, 10 of us slowed down."
Right.
I mean, because we all had modified jets. I mean, the rule was loose. It was
the rule was loose. I mean,
when at one point the rule book read that it couldn't fall on a 36 jet, and then the rule book changed, and if you didn't read it, it said it has to be a 36 jet, but a 37 pin can't go in it.
Okay.
Well, that leaves you 36.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then you go, well, how big's your 37 jet tool that you're inspecting with? When you find out that thing's 37.5.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Let's have at it. So,
let's have at it.
like you said, read the rules and know what you're racing, and that's the biggest thing. A lot of people do that. I think a lot of racers in 632, not so much PDRA, but the local stuff, whether it's here, Milan, South Carolina, I think they just look at the rule set and go, okay, that's just that. And they get in that rut and they stay there.
Yep.
They stay there.
Yeah, they're running 440 or 430 or whatever. And they got the potential to be a 420 car. And one thing we're going to do, guys, we're doing a show on correction factor. Because the most misled information, and I get it all the time, they'll say, well, the PDRA cars run low teens. Yeah, we do. When it's 101 air. Something people in Florida never, ever, ever see. You never see 101 air. You never
Right.
see negative 985 feet below sea level. You see 985 feet going on, and we got so much timing out of the cars to get them to go down that there's flames coming out of a single kit car.
Right.
To get them to move, to get them to go 100 feet. So we're actually going to do a correction factor. We're looking to find a tuner that is not associated with anybody in the class because I don't want to be one-sided about anything, and I don't want to have one team under the spotlight because their tuner's on. So when we find that person, we're going to have a correction factor class just so people can understand. I mean, right now it's 107 air in Bradenton. I checked about 2 hours ago, but we were in Bristol and we were 112 air. So you're losing 12% horsepower. That's why, I mean, I went 23, which is 3 numbers faster than last year, but I also spent a shit ton of money to go 3 numbers faster.
To
I
go
mean,
up, yeah.
you're racing heads up. It's progression. We're not running to a number. We're running to out the back. You know what I mean? So
Out the back. Yeah.
you gotta you know what I mean. You gotta improve, and if you don't, you're behind. It's
You're behind.
kind of like even like your 550 stuff. The guy comes out with the latest greatest trans brake button, and you ain't got it, and that guy's going, you know, 00 whatever every round.
Right.
You're screwed.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You know.
So, yeah. Yeah. To me, it's a great area in every rule book. You just gotta find it.
Yep.
But once you find it, you need to keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of, you know what I mean. It's to me, because if you ain't in the gray area, you ain't winning. I tell anybody that. You know, that's just how I feel about it. You know, I mean, you know, you got to read the rules. Just like I had a guy go up to North Florida Motorplex, and they want to kick him out because he didn't have an alternator on his car. You know, it's like, yeah, it's a street style class, supposed to have an alternator on it. Okay. Got an alternator off somebody's truck and bolted it up on the car and went around there and said, wait, we got an alternator on it now. But it said it ain't working. So wait a minute, the rule didn't say it had to be working. It said it had to be on the car.
That
you know what I mean?
Empty.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know.
That's funny.
No, but that's a true story. It's a very true story.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I like that you guys are using your own jets too. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, and we got to thank Ed McLemore from Nichols Performance because he's the sponsor of the Jets, and that's why it's very. I mean, we have a list out there that on Race 632 that you go on there and you just if you're going to participate, you just tell us what we need because do I need how many 44s do I need? How many 40s I need? How many 36s? And right now, there's a lot of 36 jet cars coming.
Is there?
So a lot of single kit 36 cars.
80%, Jason.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm like, where are these
80%?
cars?
80% are a single jet car.
Cars are 36 single 36 jet cars.
That's like old school days.
Yeah, and we all our numbers are based off of thankful to the Liberties, everything they got going on at Milan. She's been sharing information because they have 2 cars, and congratulations to them. Before they got pregnant, they were running different combinations in one car, and they left her PDRA car alone, and that other car was always, I mean, 100th off, 200ths off. That's beatable. You know what I mean? That is beatable.
Definitely.
You know, it's not like it's a 10th. It's not none of that. So if it just shows like you watch what they do it, but me and Patrick really pay attention to what's going on in Milan now. I mean, when they're having a race, and when they race every
First Friday,
third, first Friday, every first Friday they race, and we really can't log on because they're not like they don't have good. I guess like Wi-Fi up there, but you can't log on. Nobody's really recording it, so we got to get bits and pieces from the phone and the internet. But there was one new kid that came on. I don't remember his name, and I apologize. But he posted up the whole round. Mike D, is it? Pat? Is that
one
his name?
second, I can figure it out.
Little Mike D or something, and he's a videographer guy, and he had the whole 632 class on there. So now I'm looking at the clocks, going, compared to Nicole, you know what I mean? They're fast. They're fast up there. And it's here's another. And I come from. I know I repeat this all the time. I come from boat racing. I took a I raced a lot till 2003 in cars, and then I got into boats. I did that forever. And what equates in the boats is the same thing in the cars. You can go out there and test your boat, and you can go out there and test your car. If you're the only 632 car, or you're the only Super V out there, or Super Cat out there, you're fast as shit. Until you put another 632 in the other lane, and you put another Super V or Super Cat out there to test with you, then you find out you're either really fast or you're slow as shit.
Right.
So, we're gonna test with Patrick's car on Friday, and we run a 20 something whatever, and I'll be like, well, we ain't got a gauge. We're good. We may be fast, we may not be fast, because we don't know what everybody else is going to be running in that air,
Right.
and on that track on that day. So when guys are testing, they really need to, you're out there testing 550 or whatever, any index class or the 632 stuff. Race your own, test your own race. That's it. And your shit's going down, and you can leave, and the 60 foot's good. Who knows what the race is going to be that day?
What's going to be right? How many local 632 cars in Florida?
More than a common racing, I can tell you that. How many you got, Patrick? Oh, I think he froze up. No, there he is. Patrick,
I screwed up. I did what I was supposed to do. I scrolled Facebook trying to make sure I found that guy's name.
Oh, okay. You know how many local 632 cars there are?
Do what?
Do you know how many local 632 cars coming?
From what I'm tracking right now, I would say within the state of Florida, there's at least 12.
Good.
Okay.
It's a start, man. I mean, it's gone away in Florida for how many years?
That's 12 632 cars is a pretty good show.
Yeah.
Hey, and Tim McGarry said Carter on the mic.
Yeah, that's what is it. Carter on the mic.
Carter on the mic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he did some great videography.
We shared it. I mean, and we share. Obviously, David, we share everything you put out there, and we started sharing your stuff too, Eddie. And to collaborate with you two guys to make this event, the DRC LNG is going to be. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I am too.
Yeah, me too, man. I'm excited for it too. I wish it was on a Saturday. That's my only hang up. But
yeah,
I'm getting past that.
Now, you said we can test on. Can we test on Saturday, David?
I think so, but it's that street heat. I don't know if you really want to test on that night.
Okay.
It's
I just
street
want to
heat.
go down.
I mean, you can probably do like a 60 foot or a 330, but they don't really usually prep that good on that night.
Okay.
It might,
Well,
you talk to Wade. Wade might text it.
Get some traction.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Wade might text it up for you.
It's Brandon. It's always got grip on it. I mean, whether it's street cars or.
Right.
You ain't lying about that. That's true.
I mean, you can't walk out there on a regular night.
Right.
That's true. That is very true. Yeah. Yeah.
Ryan, that'd be right. I'm going to answer Ryan's question. Ryan, that's local. That's supposed to be coming to 632.
I would love to see Ryan back out.
Me too, man. Yeah. The Voss still racing?
Who's
that?
Voss.
They had talked about bringing the T-Bird out because the Pro Stock stuff got a little light. So they talked about bringing the T-Bird back out. They still have that 632 motor. I think they got the bottom end. I think they sold the heads. So they got that motor there. And also Mike Murphy that used to race with them, he's talking about coming back out with his red Camaro 632.
And there's a couple other ones that we've heard of that are not out on the streets, so we can't talk about it. So
yeah.
Okay.
Did I see?
Yeah, there. If in reality, we could probably have a 16-car field of Florida cars.
Well,
if they all do what they say they're going to do, right?
Right.
The issue is we can't go on what someone's going to say they do in Florida. You know that,
right? Yeah.
Yeah, you don't show up anywhere. When we started this show, guys, we had 24 cars coming to PDRA, and I think we've had 12.
Right.
So we're kind of like, and one guy, I mean, he's selling his car, his whole deal now. He's selling his stuff. It's just he's in upstate New York, and that's just getting hectic up there with taxes and everything else. And it's just and people are slow paying nowadays. I don't care if
Yeah.
Ask Daryl. Ask Daryl Cuddle. People are slow paying
Yeah,
nowadays.
Yeah.
that was
You know,
No,
that was
I look at this. I look at
it
this
makes it tough.
economy. This economy right now, the way it is, and I'm in it myself. Um, with this racing thing and these tracks, actually, I think it's an opportunity there in this economy if the local tracks would cater to the local racers and give them, something to do. They don't have to tow as far. You can have like you said, like a old heads up madness or a
Yeah.
Thursday night something, or you know what I mean.
yeah.
And
That all went away.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I think now it's time for everything's go full circle. I think
Yeah.
it's time to bring something back.
It needs
I
to
mean,
it needs to come back to more of the local stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I agree with you guys, and I think that's not just Florida. I think it's
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yep.
You know what I
Right.
mean? We obviously, me and Patrick do a lot of traveling to race,
Yeah.
and we go to all these other places, and we very rarely see a local car come to the PDRA.
Right.
And
Right.
I understand. I mean, outside looking in, I'd be a little skittish to go. I
Hmm.
mean, their top sportsman cars run 370s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
But
out of control. Top dragsters is just as fast. Lyle Barnett said it correctly last week on the podcast. He's like, "This is no joke. This is serious racing here."
Hmm.
And
right.
you know, what I mean, even in our class, I think first round qualifying, I think we were all on top of each other within 300s. I mean,
Wow.
just standing on top of each other. And
Yeah.
then, JCB broke out a little bit. He was fast as all hell last week. And listen,
Yeah. But let me ask
you
you a
can't go to
question.
these, you can't get in
Did
you
he win?
can't,
Did he win though?
yes, he did.
Did
no, he
Did he?
didn't.
No, the
No, he
young
didn't
boy
win.
did.
Ryan, what's that kid's last name? The new
That-
kid in the
The
green drag
Arcan
car
kid
one.
or whatever his name is.
Yeah. Yeah.
He went to the final round. How about that?
Yeah, he went to the
Okay.
final. Yeah.
Yeah.
JC beat it. He went to the final round and took the number 1 points
Ryan
place
Alton.
back.
Yeah.
Right. And
So, I
and
mean,
that's what I was saying. Everybody, this guy's running away with it, but usually they don't usually win the race. You know what I mean?
No.
I see that so often. It's like, what I mean? Well, I ain't taking my car, man, because so and so gonna be there. Well, hey, guess what? Your chance is as good as his.
Well, Brian Kloss proved that point last year, and he was racing the 57 at the time, I believe.
Yep, he won it.
And he qualified last and won it.
Wow.
Right.
The biggest thing in all the classes we're talking about, the biggest thing, and is one thing Matt's always said to me, and if the car goes down every lap,
Right.
it makes the trip every lap, and the
Right.
driver can somewhat drive and leave decently, you're
Mhm.
free.
Right.
Because you're
Right.
gonna go down every time. And I had that car 2 years ago. My car went down every lap, and I could hit the tree, and I disappointed a lot of people. Then we changed things in the car, and we sucked for a whole year and didn't make it past first round
Yeah.
for a whole year. But you
Yeah.
struggle, you work on it, and you figure it out, and you move forward.
Right.
For us in offshore racing, it's like if the boat finishes the race, because we race 15 laps in the 200
Mhm.
something miles. If it finishes the race and that boat finishes every race, that boat's a threat because it finishes every race.
Right.
So it's no different than
Right.
a boat in the car. If it
Oh,
finishes it, you
same
got
thing.
Mr. Hood. I mean, Mr. Gary Hood. God bless him at his age. And I think he's like 78, 79 years old, and he's fabricating a new car for himself. He's out of Maryland, and then I think it's Gary Hood's hot rod shop or something, whatever he calls it. He runs a 5-speed Liberty in a naturally aspirated '63 Corvette. Pulls his own
Hmm.
transmissions, does his own gear ratio changes at his age, does his
Wow.
own clutch. God bless him. I mean, he's got more piss and vinegar in him than an 18-year-old boy. He started on his car right at the beginning of the season. I think we were 3 races in, and he had all the frame rail welded up together in a car. I'm like, this old dude by himself is, he's out there banging away and welding like anything. But he's going to come out with that car, and he gets his teeth kicked in every round. Happy
Mm-hmm.
to be there, just to be with everybody
Just have fun.
and race, right? So you get a guy like that, and he's just happy to race, and he's going to come out with a new car, probably I would say next year. Hopefully, he puts a nitrous bottle in it, because the NA car really don't.
Right.
It doesn't have it. You know what I mean? It's just the single kit car and all the kit cars. They just gotten so fast that you'd have to, be a Johnny Pacino and come out with that, an exotic Ford from Kazi I would think to compete in a class, but it's get the cars out there, whether it's a 550 car, 650 car,
Right.
get the cars out there,
it's like little gangsters. Everybody's hollering, but you can't have a delay box in there. But you gotta what you call them that? All electronics in the world.
Oh, I mean, so, I think fuel. I'll put this.
Fuel tech. You got a fuel tech in that. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. You got a fuel tech in that. So you don't need a delay box if you got a fuel tech.
No, you don't.
You don't need anything.
Right. You see what I'm saying? So.
And I've learned that there's something called the predictive transbake tree in a thing or something like that, where you can if you watch the tree and you pay attention to when the last I don't want to be stepping on anybody's toes or get pissing anybody off. If I'm wrong, please correct me on this. You can call me, email me, shoot on the screen if you want. I don't care. But if you watched from the time the last stage bulb goes on and the first yellow comes on, you average that out. You can put that in the box, and the box will leave when that last guy stages. He releases the trans brake button, and then he sits there, and the EFI lets the car go.
Right.
If that's true, that is some shit.
Well,
you're putting numbers in the system. It's just a delay box, right? The fuel tech, you have a practice tree on the fuel tech system.
Right.
I don't know if you know that, Jason, but
yeah, I know that.
You can sit in your car and just practice the tree with fuel tech.
Yeah. But they get this thing called predictive tree, and it's like that's pretty badass. I mean, that's way beyond both.
Especially on here, I would like to have at that race. I was gonna call you about this, Dave, but maybe somebody on here would want to set it up or something. I would like to have a practice tree contest. I mean,
a race.
Yeah, put up some money and somebody win. So much to get in, and just something else to do.
Is that a racer thing or is that a spectator thing?
We can do it either way. I mean, I don't care. I mean, we just a one-day event. I don't know. I've been thinking about that all week. I'm like, man, it'd be nice if we could have a practice tree race at the thing. We could have. I don't know nobody got one though. I don't know nobody have.
I mean, I don't. I have the practice tree, but I don't have a full tree.
I got a practice tree. Yeah, but I don't have a full tree.
I don't know if Jordan has a full tree or not to practice on. Because they have a full practice tree too, but I don't know where that's at. And have a competition on that?
Well, that might be something.
What about, is Jordan running Outlaw 632 also?
No.
Okay.
He just, does everything on my car. He'll run probably the PDRA in Virginia. I'll probably be working.
Okay.
So if I'm not driving, he'll be driving. If he's not driving his car, so.
Right. Now, where do you live at now, Patrick?
Wesley Chapel.
Oh, you do? Okay. Cool.
Oh, you're right in the corner from me.
Yeah. Where you at, boss man?
Down in Tampa. Down in Carwood.
Oh, okay. I work at McDill, so I drive by regularly.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So what can we do collaboratively to help everybody off better in Florida for the Winter Series?
I just think we just need to kind of build it, Are you talking about 632?
No.
550, 632.
We just got to be. I think the races just need to be consistent.
Well, this is what I told Victor. This is what I told Victor. I'm gonna put it out here. I know it's recorded. I actually told him that I think this is a time let's just talk 550 guys to step up to the plate. And uh, I think if he capped it at a certain number of calls at the 550, that'll kind of pique the interest more. You know what I'm saying?
Have a qualifying field of 32 cars.
Yeah, whatever, how you want to do it. You know what I mean? But I think that'll pique the interest more. I don't think they're not interested. I just think that they got upset with the last couple of years, and and some of them said some things they shouldn't have said. And when you get to talk about people, businesses, and that kind of stuff, that don't set well.
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't set well with me. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, me neither.
So, but I think it's going to be all right. I think it's going to be all right. Now, whether he have them or not, I'm thinking, my gut telling me all the index classes are going to be there. But I just think that I'm doing everything I can to keep this index stuff alive, man. It's
hard.
It's hard deal, man. People don't realize how much work go into this.
Right?
Yeah.
And you've been doing it for a little bit, and you said you're down to one race, and it's a lot of work just to get that one race. And Jason and I here, we're trying to kick this off in a few months and try to have get us in all the races. So we definitely understand. You have to have work ethic outside of your work.
Yeah,
you have your daily job, then you have your second and third jobs.
Job, man. My wife says you're all the time sitting around trying to figure something about that race, and I'm like, well, you gotta write it down and put it on paper and look at it and rewrite it. And this is what I do. I just don't. I make notes when I'm driving. I keep a notepad in my truck when I'm driving. I write down something like, let me think about this. Or let me call this guy. It's just
that's when you think it's when you.
Now, so you guys know, like at the PDRA, we do a dinner at every race, and one race sponsors it. And it does very, very well. I mean, David Cook is going to be cooking in Virginia. Galat, and this will be the third time this year he's hosting dinner in his pit. For us, it's easy. I mean, it's 40, 50 people, figuring that each team has 5.
Yeah.
And then I'm doing the final race in Virginia for the finals, and we do 2 races in that race. So we race what's called the Pro Stars, which is loosely based off of NHRA. They're what do they call this? That's something
All-Star Shootout.
All-Star Shootout. So basically, Pro Stars will start. The new year will be at this race coming up, Galat, and it'll go Galat, the next Virginia, and then when we start the season off in May or April, it'll continue then, and it ends in Bristol. And then whoever's got the cumulative points, there, the top 8 cars out of all the cars that are fielded over the year will race for the Pro Stars in at the final. So it's a race in a race, which is pretty exciting. And they do and they do it in a fashion that I really like it, because that is a chip draw race. There's no qualifying.
That's cool.
Because you don't really have to qualify, because we're already at point standings, right?
Right.
So I without bringing it back up, and I don't have it set up anyway, but it's like JC Beatty's first, or no, Jeff Melnick's first. I think Beatty is second. David Cook Jr., then myself, then I think Carson Hoyle's in there. Mr. Hood made it in, and Melnick's not coming, so that they do 2 alternates, and and then Brian Kloss got the alternate in at the 8th spot. So we'll race this thing, and we chip draw on a podium for first round, and then second round, as you come up return road, they have a bag out there, and you just pick out of the bag, because you got to come by. It's the only race that you go by the grandstands on the way back, like old school drag racing.
Right. Yeah.
You grab, the winner goes up through there, and the loser goes back, the normal way.
Right.
And then and it works out great. And I mean, it's good for the fans.
Right.
Another thing I like, and I don't know if this is something that we implement and what we're trying to do here is for fan interaction, we do an autograph session only at this one race, and I wish we did it at more because I really enjoy it. It's the kid to me. It's about the kids. If you see my stuff on Facebook, if there's kids, they're in my car.
Right.
Sit in a thing, do
Right.
what you
Yeah.
want to do. You
Let us
know,
sit in there, and look around.
yeah. You
Yeah.
know, I had the kid. I had the kid. I wasn't paying attention, and I had turned around. His father was in it, and I said, "Hey," and the kid just hit my trans brake button and is dumping my air shock. And he just kept going. I was like, laughing. I'm like, oh, at least the bottle's like the valve's closed, so he's only got so much air before that thing runs
Mhm.
out. But you know, I'm all about it. I'm all about the kids. It's my biggest thing, and I like the fan interaction. You know,
Yeah. I like the
so
fan. Yeah.
I don't know if
Yeah.
that's something that we could. You know, it's hard to ask a 550 guy to go out and get some cards made up. They don't cost a whole lot of money, but if you got them and they're at the end of the pit, the kid comes in and that's what the sport needs, right? We need more kids, right? We need
Yeah.
kids that
Yep.
that are not, you know, what I mean, a
Okay.
junior dragster kid, he's born and bred into it. That's just a, you know what I mean. There's
Mhm.
a junior dragster doesn't have a parent that doesn't race. Maybe years ago, but not anymore. I mean, every parent's got, you know what I mean? They got a car and they got a junior for their kid. But to get a
Yep.
kid that's not involved in it or to bring him over, even if he's a young teenager, which I think
Right.
is and I'm all about that part and you know, is taking in youngsters and helping them, you know, move along in the right direction instead of Walter Lanigan's got the best story in the world. He was a street corner kid, you know, and then you know, young black street corner kid down in Miami. Worst place to
Hmm.
be a street corner kid, right? In the wrong
Hmm.
color. And there was an older black man that brought him over and made him was, you know, brought him into the garage and there was race cars in there and he's the first one that gave Walter a chance to drive. And I mean, he's a phenomenal driver.
That's
You know,
awesome.
Wow.
so you know that's a story that if you know if there's a group of 10 races, if one racer could do that for one child or one kid,
Right.
you
Mm.
know, it's a tremendous give back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's a good driver.
Yeah, no, it's a tremendous give back to if you can take somebody, you know, and bring them under your wing and throw, you know, because I didn't have anybody. You know what I mean?
Right.
My
Right.
my oldest brother's 13 years older than me, and he actually worked for Tasker Ford in the race shop.
Right.
That was my hook, and that was in the 70s. And then obviously, like I say, he's 13 years old. And he takes off and he's gone. And you know, my first trip to the track was I raced a motorcycle,
Yeah.
and it was New England Dragway, and that was a 125-mile drive from my house. And
Oh.
you know, go up as soon as I could, and you know what I mean. I was always involved in, and finally, a rotted out high school car turned into a back half car that got driven
Right.
around on the streets, and
Right.
which you know had a small block in it, and then it got front halved, and you know, and then it got a big block in it, and then it went top sportsman racing for 2 years, and then the 25 one cage rule came in, and that car got obsolete because it was a 2x3 mild steel car
Hmm.
with a big at the time 590-inch motor. So doing the whole autograph thing, and I hope some people at PDRA are listening. I think we should do that more for fan
So,
interaction. I mean,
so what?
a box of poster things. I think they're probably like $100. You
Right.
Hmm.
know, for a whole box. You get a local printer. Maybe he'll give you a deal on it if he gets to put his logo on the print
Hmm.
card. You know what I mean?
Right.
And especially now that we're
You're
racing
going
local,
tangents.
you know, we're racing local. So, you know, like you said earlier, Eddie, you know, local businesses have been more than well to help you because we're racing locally.
Right.
PDRA is a little tougher because
Hmm.
we're not racing local. So
Right.
Right.
getting sponsorship from John the plumber across town over here doesn't do him jack shit when I'm racing in Maryland, you know.
Right. Exactly. Right.
Right.
You know, so hopefully that and that's one thing me and Patrick have not looked in that avenue of local businesses to help sponsor us. We got a great sponsor in David Swallow and Frank Beals. We have a couple of associate sponsors that are helping us out doing all this stuff. Gibson Motorsports, they're sponsoring us. Billy, and give my condolences to him. His uncle was like a father to him, just passed away this morning. He will
Mm.
not be in Galat because he'll be at a funeral, but they're metal workers and they're making all our trophies for us for the winter series that we got going on. So it takes
Oh,
it to do what we're doing, and I hope a lot of racers understand. It's like you said earlier, guys. It's an undertaking that just. When I said
Yeah.
this, I was like, "Hey, Pat, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna promote our own race. We're gonna do this." And I'm like, he's
I'm
like,
telling you.
"Really?" And I'm like, "What else are we gonna do? It
Well,
sucks
that's what
being
we do.
home the last 2 years for winter. It just sucked.
Right.
Winters are longer than summers. And if you don't live in New England, you'll never understand that winters are longer than summers."
Yeah. So
right.
where are you located at?
I'm in Fort Lauderdale now, but I'm originally from
Oh, okay.
Massachusetts.
Okay.
Um,
So let me ask you a question. How many races you got besides this one? How many races you got already? You guys gonna promote? How many y'all got?
Two. We have David, you guys' race, and we have World Street.
Okay. Oh, so you got Orlando too?
Yep.
Yes. So
Oh,
I
okay.
figured, in our little pea brains, we figured once we got one, the other one would jump on board.
Right.
So hopefully, I mean,
Hmm.
Hopefully it leads to something,
yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
I was working.
every time we do an email, David, 550 is always in. I mean, we got Oscar 550,
Yeah.
and now we throw in Mountain Motor Pro Stock. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
we can make a package where it's more
Yeah.
appeasing, and for us, it makes it's easier for us to promote ourselves, because obviously we do have our own purse. We're
Right.
not
Right.
waiting on the track to have a purse, and
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know if
I
that's something we gotta get going for 550, where it has its own purse, or how it
Yeah.
works out.
yeah. Yeah.
You know.
550, 650. I'm a 650 guy myself because I kind of like the street style. Always have, always will, I guess, because that was my thing is the streets, and so I like kind of like the street style. The tree killers, I call them tree killers because they're deadly on the tree now. They're dead. If you can't cut a tree in the 650 index class, boy, you're in trouble. I can tell you that.
Oh,
For sure.
nowadays it's in any class. If you can't cut a tree,
Yeah.
You know,
you know.
yeah,
I
you,
mean,
you.
JCB. I own the Crown. JCB he won 2 races in a row, never been beat, and I got him on a whole shot.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know, and I think the announcers were more excited for me than I was.
Yes, they
Um,
were excited.
it was like, oh my god, you know what I mean? And then again, it goes back to you got that car that goes down every time.
Right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You are a problem. I mean, he was faster, but he was later on the tree.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I am like I know I said it earlier. I am excited for this. You
Eh,
can't imagine. I
eh,
mean, this is a big thing for me personally. This is huge.
awesome. Awesome.
I'm in a marine industry, so I'm like, people go, why don't you do boat stuff? And I'm like, I do boat stuff, 60, 70 hours a week. Drag race
Right. You
stuff.
want to do something
Drag
different?
race stuff
Yeah.
is fun. you know, it's
Yeah.
more
Fun, yeah.
funner. But
You drive too? Or you do drive too? You build the whole
yeah.
works, you build the motor, you did build the whole car. You just,
Uh, I, uh, I go sidetrack. So my business is Brain X High Performance Marine, and we do high end offshore boats
oh, okay. I
and
got
race
you.
boats. A lot of custom stuff. Like
Mm-hmm.
now we're finishing up a custom build on a fountain, and we're halfway through a major rebuild of a '78 Magnum. This gentleman spent more money than you could buy a new Pro Mod for. And
Wow.
then I have a '38 Top Gun that's almost ready for paint, and we're going to be starting on a 20-foot cigarette. They're very rare. We're going to start on that one next, and I think my fourth one I'll be coming in. I'm 6 months out now to get in the shop at the moment.
That's
Um,
good.
well, I
That's a
Yeah.
good thing.
downsized. I used to have this big shop and big overhead, and it just, yeah. I was working to keep everything, and now I'm working to to keep money in my pocket.
You
Um,
Right.
you downsize, you look happier.
Everybody says that, like, dude, you look so much happier. You look so much stress relieved. I'm like,
I
yeah,
mean,
I'm not
he
worried about
walks
coming up
eight
with.
minutes to work.
Yeah,
Oh
I
wow.
can walk to work. It's eight. Yeah, it's
Oh
it's
wow.
it's 8 minutes. It's 800 feet from my shop to the house.
Damn.
Um, And now I learned, like, I got a couple of friends that are on Broward Sheriff's Office, and I've been taking a golf cart back and forth with my pit cart, just
Yeah,
driving down the street, go back and forth, so it's fun. But
that's
yeah,
awesome.
you take the stress out of it, and
Yeah,
to come up with such a big amount of money every month was just draining.
yeah,
And we're all proud, right? I mean, whether it's the
Yeah,
race car, people go broke to go racing because they're too proud to say, "Hey, I can't afford to do this."
I can't afford to do it.
We
well,
all do it. I mean, it's the
eighth,
nature of the beast. We all do it, and it's not beating on anybody. We all do it, and in
I
business,
mean,
it's the
you're
same
not
thing. It's
young
like,
anymore either, Jason, you know what I mean? Like,
no,
it's
no,
good for you, what you've done.
and it's it all goes hand in hand. So funny you say that, David. So what are you gonna do with your spare time? Oh, I'm gonna start a race in fucking Florida. That's what
Yeah.
I'm gonna do because I got nothing else to do because I don't have to be in this shop all this time. So
Hmm.
then,
Hmm.
and now I said to Patrick, I'm like, sometimes my mouth gets me in more trouble than I can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I really
yeah,
should listen. My brain should listen to my mouth first before my brain fucking talks.
yeah.
Damn it.
But you know what
Hey,
though? I've been there exactly where you are because, like I was telling you with Don Long when I was up there with him, just racing his races. And I was like 55 years old back then. 50, I don't know, maybe 50, 52. And I told my wife, I'm getting up there, so I'm gonna start my own race. And I said it, and I thought about it, and I actually sat down and talked to some people about it. And they're like, man, I think you can do that because you got the mentality for that. And I'm like, really? You think so? And here it is. I'm 70 years old now, so it's been a while.
God bless you. God bless you.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
our thoughts on it is if we can get into the last, into that winter series over at Bradenton for this year, that'll be a
That,
pretty good wrap,
that would
and
be
have,
awesome.
the last race will be for a championship. We
Yeah.
actually
mhm,
have a sponsor to add to um, David's contribution to to Southern Outlaw for a
mhm.
championship. So that'd be really cool to get that done. I know it's a big undertaking for me and Pat to get that all done. But if we can get that done, that'd be great. If we can't, we'll have to do something else. I mean,
So nobody has gotten back to y'all at all.
no,
from
no,
Bradenton, though,
no.
I actually was before David and everyone. We've said yes to you know to y'all's race. I was working with Gainesville and trying to work with Gainesville and to do the Night Under Fire race in Gainesville. I got their contacts finally, but we had already committed fully to y'all's events. So
Mm.
maybe next year, depending
Right.
on when y'all's events is, we might do Night on the Fire if Gainesville lets us into
Yeah.
their event, which would be kind of cool too, to race at
Hmm.
Gainesville. Have y'all thought about looking at other tracks outside of
Not
just
really.
the local
Not
area?
really. Just because Bradenton's been so good to us.
Yeah,
You know.
I'm kind of loyal guy. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? You know, not just well. I mean, I have had races other tracks now. I mean, I've had at North Florida. I've had them at US 19. I've had at Silver Dollar. I mean, I've had them at different tracks. I've done that.
Hmm.
But Bridge is one of those places so hard to get in, and it's such a phenomenal track that I don't want to mess it up. You know what I mean? No kind of way. I don't know if you understand that or not, but
Well, I understand that, but I mean, with Jason, I think we're trying to do this whole, we want to race year round, right? And
Right.
PDRA
right.
has that summer side of it for the
Hmm.
most
Mm-hmm.
part. And during that winter time, when it's the best time to race in Florida, there's a lot of racetracks in Florida.
Yeah.
And I think going to other venues other than just, Bradenton and Orlando.
I mean
We
that.
tried Gainesville, South Florida during
I
our
mean
time
that
frame
could
of the
be
year. I
something.
think it's
That could be
beneficial.
something where we just do like the index stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of the whole like bracket. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's not a
Right.
bad. I
That
mean,
could be,
we can definitely get cars there.
yeah, we can do that. There's no
And,
that.
that's the biggest thing is getting cars.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
So what do you guys think get the cars? The track, the facility, the promoter, or the purse?
Well,
You know,
we know it's not the purse.
because I'll race for $2,000. I don't care.
Right.
I
Yeah.
never looked at what the purse is. I mean,
Right.
I think
we
it's
we we were doing. I'm sorry, Patrick. We were doing these so we had like, it was like 4,000 to win, and then somebody could come in and put more money to it. And I never even paid attention. Well, we were in Michigan, like, hey, we'll race for $10,000, $12,000. And I'm like, never paid attention, because I don't pay attention what we race for. All right. I know some people do. I'm not that person.
Yep.
I'm not either.
I think
So I don't want to beat a dead horse.
Yeah.
And talk about the IHRA, because of all of the issues. But if you look at the IHRA and Pro Mod, guaranteed $100,000, $150,000 to win, plus paid out across multiple, positions.
Yep.
Versus, let's say, the World Series or whatever it was $50,000 to win. Second place got nothing. One series has, make you buy in at whatever let's just say $5,000, and you had to pay up front to get into the race. The other one, nowhere near the cost, but no one showed up. So, so it's definitely the promoter promoting it and people knowing about it. It's overlapping of other events, because a lot of the other races, like we get the 632 class, definitely got that. As soon as it was very popular, you had a bunch of cars go to a race, and we want that class. And then you have 3 races in one weekend, and you don't have enough cars to fill the class. So they're going to go to what they feel is the most popular one. So then they're like, well, we only got 10 cars to show up. We got 5 cars to show up. We had 20. So it's not having too many races at the same time frame, because you can only do so much. Our pockets are only so deep.
Yep.
Doing what we're trying to do our best of, promoting in collaboration with other people, and not trying to do it all by yourself, because then you just make a hole for yourself, right?
Right.
And we can guarantee what we're doing, making sure it's there first. So for like let's say the purse side of it, it's guaranteed. We're 100% guaranteed that the purse is there, where people won't be scared to go there, right? So that's what I mean. There's a lot to every event, and and what's that? A bad apple spoils a bunch. If there's one bad apple in the team and or whatever for the organization trying to promote it, I think that was the big thing for the IHRA when it started off. Kenny Knowles, even though he was doing great stuff, a lot of people had bad views to him, so that caused an issue from the beginning. Right. So it's it's promoter wise, it's this, it's that. There's a whole bunch of different aspects. So what does make it
I think
the secret sauce to get that event every time at every racetrack actual?
I think venues have something to do with it too, because obviously we run 8 races, and there's tracks I'm more excited to go to than others. Right. So I mean, I would hate to race a year and not go to Galat.
Galat looks like an awesome track.
It is. I mean,
it's a beautiful track.
You're in the middle of Hoboken, nowhere. There's farms all around you. You know what I mean? And it's just the atmosphere of the track, the layup of the track. It's like going to Summit. You know what I mean? In Norwalk is like, for us, it's a hike, right? I mean, that's like a 2-day drive, all day long. But you get there,
awesome.
It's
like, but that's a good thing, right? That's a good conversation portion. It's the track and what the track does as well, right?
And the people at the track, right?
So, you go to Michigan, they promote their nitro class when we were there and everything else. There's thousands upon thousands of people, so it makes the event more memorable. Then you go to the next race, and there's 5 people in the stands. It's about promotion, right? So you got to promote the race as well.
Yeah,
for sure.
Look, I mean, obviously here it's local for us, so we got control over local promotion. Getting it done and however we feel free that we have to do it. Like we have, David Cook is kind of he's our sponsor for the banners and the flyers and everything. So we got a bunch of flyers, and I'll get some to Patrick this weekend. So basically, the flyers that you see Patrick put up, we have that in actual paper. I just dropped some off at the local O'Reilly's over here. And I'll get some more out at other places. But just if people see it, because not everybody looks at Facebook. Nobody's really looking at all our stuff. But you know what I mean?
Nah.
So the guy walks by and he's going out the door and he sees this thing. Oh, well, look at this drag race, in Bradenton. Even though it's 4 hours away, Orlando's 4 hours away from here.
Right.
So it doesn't matter which direction you're going.
Orlando's 2 hours from me in Tampa. It's 2 hours from me in Tampa to Orlando Speedway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you push it to other pages if they allow it. Orlando lets you cross post to their page, but Bradenton don't. For whatever reason, you got to, you know what I mean. They don't let you cross post.
I don't know. Yeah, Orlando will let you post on those pages.
Yep, you can post on Orlando's page. And sometimes, I mean, and everybody's looking for a deal. So when you're putting a race together, and you right about now, because it's 6:32, and we did leave a lot of bad taste in Bradenton's mouth and Orlando by no car count, and we got to come out from under that rock. There was concessions that we gave up to be able to go to Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, that's what you want. All right, fine. We'll do it this year because we're new. But if this works out, we're not doing that next year. They're like, okay, well, but I'm confident that we'll get a decent car count. And the car count that we're counting is not even counting PDRA cars. So the cars that are coming down from PDRA, there's just people that want to stay racing during the winter.
Okay.
And for us, I'll say it again. Chris Nelson's offered free storage at his property for anybody that's racing PDRA. I mean, racing Southern Outlaw that's coming down. They get free storage at his property. For the winter. I know he usually does a lot of for the pro mods. He does a lot, and he charges the pro mod guys. It's not a whole lot of money. It's like stupid money. But he charges for it to park. But if you're racing Southern Outlaw 632, you got free storage for the winter at Chris Nelson's house, which is just down the street from Bradenton.
I'm not too far from Nelson.
Okay, so I mean, you throw all that out there, and I think you got to make it as easy as possible as you can. And again, I think sometimes the venue helps. You know what I mean? We don't have. And I hate to be a dick about this, but it's the truth of it. We don't have a world-class facility in Florida. We just don't have it, right? I mean, we have great tracks.
Right.
The running surface is badass, but it falls short on everything else.
Right.
When you go to the places that me and Patrick had mentioned, I mean, there ain't a pothole to be found. I mean, Ohio is like the groomed landscaping at Norwalk is unbelievable.
I heard.
Whatever, it's phenomenal. Never mind the ice cream.
Right.
I'm an
The
ice
ice
cream
cream's
guy.
delicious,
You get a 2-pint ice cream. It's like $4 or something like that. You get fat going in Ohio. But it's Virginia. What I like about Virginia, is the Italian restaurant up the street that you can ride a golf cart to. And it's got great food there, and everybody stops there. I had Chris Powers having the morning night. Chris Powers just rolled up, and
that's why I'm from Virginia.
Is it? So Chris Powers rolled up with his whole rig, pulled up in the middle in the turn lane, pulled the brakes, and put the four-ways on. He went and had dinner before he rolled in the track to go wait to get in. It's just that you any night you go there, there's racers in there. So there's just those little quirky things that that makes it worth going to. When you go to our tracks, there's nothing around. Like even if West Palm was still open, there ain't nothing around there but mosquitoes.
Nothing.
It was 40 minutes to the next town in West Palm, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, to get all the way, even if you got back, if you went east on Beeline to get back to, uh,
Indian
Riviera
Town.
Beach, there's nothing there really to eat
Well,
in Riviera
Bridgeton
Beach.
is building. They're building up around Bridgeton now. I can tell you that.
That's
Jeez.
that's kind of on the unfortunate side, though. The racetrack itself needs to become a venue of other than just the surface, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what it's
So,
known for.
Yep.
it takes local business to make a track successful. I think. What's around it? What's around it to support it? You go to Bristol. I mean, that is like, that's like for us going to Bristol's like, IHRA going to Indy, and it's like, oh my god, and the food around that place and everything else is just, it's great. It's everything works, right. It's a great track, great facility. They
Great
finally got rid of the
showers.
bumps. Yeah, great
Yeah.
shower. That's another thing with Galat. I mean, you know what it's like to have a track that has a shower. I mean, I'm gonna sound like a spoiled little brat, but
No.
not to take a shower in your total home.
Yep.
Not to take a shower in your total home that's got perfectly hot water, to go into a regular shower and take one where you don't have to worry about running out of water or filling up the tank.
Yep.
I burn that bitch down in Galat. I'm not gonna lie to you. I go in there, turn that thing on, and I'm like, thank God, I don't have to worry about running out of hot water.
Yep.
But it's the amenities at the track. You know what I mean? They got a
Mhm.
great grill there. Like, you can actually sit down and eat inside of a restaurant at Galat.
Wow.
A cafeteria style restaurant, but you can sit down
Still.
and eat inside in air conditioned right on the
Wow.
starting line. You can sit right
Yeah.
on the starting line indoors and have breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Wow.
So
That's
there's a
sweet.
lot to it that makes it. You know what I mean? And how do
Yeah.
you get there? That's not an us problem. That's a track problem. But when
Yep.
you have venues like that, people come. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? It
Yep.
and it's the biggest thing. I mean, uh, we're having an event at DRC. What do we do for food? Do we have, I mean, is there a food truck going to be there? You know what I mean? Is it possible to get a food truck there? I'm thinking
Mhm.
outside the box. You know what I mean? I'm just, you know what I mean? Just slinging shit against the wall. As Phil Tukey Swill said, I'm sling more shit than anybody. But, that's how we're on here spitballing, right? How do we make this better in Florida?
Right.
And,
Oh, I
and that's
know.
what
I
this
know
whole
one.
show
I
is
know
about.
one guy would love to show up there. Well, he's got a nice setup, man. It's like one of them setups. I don't know if you saw that guy on be on YouTube and stuff. They build those big experiment toe behind um
Yeah.
cookers with yeah. He went up there and ordered one of them. Had that guy make him one, man. It is huge, man. It is.
Well, you look
I
when
mean,
Westbuck was doing the Pro Series, right? They had that whole cooking thing on the stage facing the starting line, and I think a ticket was like $100, $150 on top of your
yeah,
entry fee ticket, right?
yeah,
And that thing
mm,
was sold out.
right,
You know, we go back to the Pro Stars. They have a band. They have bands that come in and play during the day. While
yeah,
everybody's racing, there's bands, and that band plays right till when racing's done, and people put cars
Right.
away and they're gonna go watch the band. To me, and Patrick feels the same way about it. What's it cost? And I'll see her in Virginia. I'll ask her, what's it cost to have a jet car? Because if you had a jet car show up or two
Oh
jet
yeah.
cars or a wheel stander at DRC, the stands are going. I don't care if it's Sunday, they're going to go because there's a jet car and there's a wheel stander there.
Right. Yep.
yeah,
With 3 passes and they're done, right? And then what's that cost? Well, obviously,
right.
Right.
it's money, right? And you gotta stick your neck out there and take a shot at it, right? We're gonna get paid back on this, or we not? You
Probably
know,
not,
Right.
but that's how you build, though.
but yeah, you're probably gonna
Mhm.
get your teeth kicked in on the first race, but hopefully the
Right.
second race you don't, right? I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
nobody.
I had my teeth kicked in a couple times,
Yeah, I
but it's
mean,
okay.
right?
But
Yep.
see, having your teeth kicked in and continuing to grind, versus having your teeth kicked in and tucking your
Quitting.
tail and running.
No, you
Yep.
gotta learn. You learn. I call it a learning experience.
So,
Right.
Yep.
I mean,
You know.
hopefully there's a bunch of local races. I mean, a lot of people don't watch the night that we do this, but it'll be our analytics are usually like 15, 2,000 people by the end of the week will watch this. Like
Good.
I watch Boosted and Bros and what is it? Bruce Boosted and whatever it is. Jason Harris's show. I
Yep.
watch that during the week at work. You know what I mean? I throw it on.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with
See him talking.
Drag Illustrated. I watched that during, but they do it. They do it like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so people can watch it while they're at work. But I'll
Yeah.
throw it on and watch it at work the next day or whenever. You know,
Mm-hmm.
while we're working, it's in the shop playing.
Mm-hmm.
So we get a lot out of it. But if there's local races that are hopefully listening to this, you know, reach out to one of the four of us on this screen and voice your opinion. I mean, we can't
Right.
do anything.
Yeah.
We're going by what we think works for us.
Right.
We need it to work for them, right?
Right.
Because
We
if
need to
it
work
works
for
for
them.
them, then they'll come.
Right. It needs to work for them. Ain't no doubt about it.
For
You know,
sure.
it needs to work for them, and it's like, you know, yeah, I'm telling you, I'm strong on the rules. I'm not bending on a lot of things,
Right.
and some people like, you know, I got a lockup. Nope. Well, I'm not going to come. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Because it's
Okay.
a can of
Yeah.
worms, right? Like it's like
Right.
you said earlier. If you allow that trans break in that class, it's like what goes next? You know what I
Right.
What
mean?
goes
What's the
next?
next
Right.
thing? So
Right.
no, it's a hard no. No trans break. Take the
Yep.
button out of the car. I don't care. No trans
Right.
break. You
Yep.
know.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta and a very smart tech guy had said to me when we first started doing this, and I talked about it to him. He's like, don't discuss your rules with somebody who wants to race in your class because
Yep.
Right.
have their own intentions.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. They sure
Right.
will.
Quoted by Jeff Holloway. And he's like, you gotta, stand by and move forward. And I think we did pretty well. And I hope we get the car count that we're looking to get. And
Yeah.
if
Right.
we get half of what's on Patrick's list, I'm good. I'll be happy.
Yeah.
I'll be happy. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously, the first one's going to be a soft opener. Now I don't think everybody's going to show up. Um, I think Phil Tukey Swale says he'll make that one, but he can't make the snowbirds because he's going to be hunting. He does 10 days of hunting up in I think it's New Hampshire. He goes hunting up there, so he won't make that one. But I mean, if listen, not everybody can make every race. You know what I mean? But if they
Nah.
make a couple of them and some make it one race and don't make it the next, and it swaps itself out, we're good and we're all good.
But I
Even
mean,
if it's a 550 class or a 650 class, whatever it is. I mean, but to come together with a group of people to make racing. I mean, this is a big
right.
state, and a lot of people don't feel how fortunate they are living here. You all take it for granted, but when you show up to the October race in New Jersey and New Jersey at New England Dragway, and they're doing their Halloween costume thing, and there's breath is coming out of moisture's
Yep.
coming out of your breath because it's so cold, and you're wearing your fire suit just to keep warm.
Yep.
And it's the last race of the year, and your shit goes away till April 1st.
Right.
They're
Right.
racing They're racing snowmobiles on the racetrack. You know what I mean? That's what they're
Mm-hmm.
doing basically because it snows out, and we are fortunate enough here to have an endless summer. No matter where you live, except for the Panhandle, no matter where you live in Florida, in the places that we're racing, we have an endless summer.
Yep.
A lot of people like the break. Northerners are used to a break. I'm used to a break. When I first moved here, I was like, I need
Right.
extra motorcycles and boats because this shit, we don't have no downtime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but one thing about a race car, you can take a break when you want.
Yeah.
This is true. I mean, but
You know what I'm saying? It's like
no, and in any sport you can, but
Yeah.
but to have the option down here that you can take a break whenever you want, you know what I
Right.
mean? I think basically everybody shuts down like July, August, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody's like,
And,
don't
and
want
you,
like
you
we
guys
got a race
laugh.
this weekend. We got a race this weekend over at St. Pete over at Showtime's Red Strip. It's Memorial for Walt Dreyfus, and they had 6-0 and 7-0 index and a small tire shootout off the trailer. And they canceled the night test and tune for the extreme heat. So now people want to know what they're gonna do Saturday night because
Right.
it's gonna be just as hot.
We raced Maryland like 4 weeks ago, and I got in my car and I hit the race pack, and it read 114 degrees sitting inside the car, and I was
Mm-hmm.
like, and people complain about Florida. We're in Maryland and it's this hot. It's like just race. Let's just race.
Sure.
Yeah.
Stop and let's race.
Well, guys, I'm gonna have to get off.
Yeah, no, it's about time for all of us.
Yeah.
Dave, thank you very much for coming
back.
on. We appreciate everybody.
Yeah, and I appreciate you guys stepping up and
appreciate
coming
you.
on and joining the race, man. That really means a lot. I think that's going to bring some more excitement to the race. And I hope it works out for you guys too. I think it's going to benefit you guys too.
I'm glad to have it back, man.
We'll all keep in touch
always
with each
loved
other
Outlaw
and
632.
we'll all keep in touch with each other and push everybody forward. Patrick, you want to close this out, bud?
All right, one quick question. We'll go around the room real quick for Eddie. You got any last comments?
Yeah, DRC and Little Guy National Southern 632 coming to the Brazen Motorsports Park, man, November the 1st. Be there. That's what I got.
Okay, Eddie. Dave?
Oh, I'm good. I'm just glad to have you all back, man. I really am. You guys have done a good job putting this together, too.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hey, Eddie, Dave, y'all know we can't do this or anything without the support and sponsors to do anything, right? We might try to field it out of our pocketbook, but that's only goes so far. But without the support of our sponsors, we can't do anything. Shameless Racing has stepped up tremendously from the get as soon as we announced this thing and said, hey, we're going to be there 100% for the go. So I just want to say once again, thank you to Shameless Racing for the Southern Outlaw 632 class. Procom ELS, 5-day shutters. Hey, get your shutters done. They come in as the #1 qualifier sponsor for the Pro 632 class. Yes, we got it. You're gonna get if you win $5,000, you #1 qualifier. That's $250 into your bank account. Cash money, right? Well, I don't know, maybe a check. We ain't got that far yet.
I'll thank my sponsors too whenever you're done.
So it's we greatly appreciate everybody. Procom ELS, myself, Jason, we're working hard to make this thing happen, and without partnerships with you and Dave and Eddie, it doesn't work. So we want to say thank you very much for joining us and letting us be your first or our first race, y'all's race for the year. And hopefully we can continue to grow not only the Pro 632, the Southern Outlaw 632 class back in the Southeast, but also maybe the 650, the 550 mountain motor. Our website is Southern Outlaw Racing Association. It's not strictly 632. We're promoting a 632 class currently. I'm just throwing that out there so we can probably put a band together and get this thing running. So Dave, you said you wanted to say thank you to some people, so go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank M&M Transmission and Shifters, Mark Mickey, Keith Goolsby from Champion Auto Lifts, Ed Richardson from Richardson Stinton Roofing, my wife for Beach and the Golf Carts. Frank Beal has been a blessing to me.
Yep.
He was one of my very first sponsors, and he has been with me for this will be the 12th year that he's sponsored, and it's all about the juniors for him.
Yep.
And I got to make up a flyer. Frank has been like I said, he's been great. All my sponsors have been great, but Frank really sticks out because he's been with me from day one. He's just a great guy.
He is.
So, 5-day plantation shutters.
Yeah, man, I tell you, I got, like you said, man, Bagana Auto Body been with me since day one, the 550 Index sponsor for 13 years or more now, or longer. It's been so long. And him and CRT Transmissions. Tony Jarvis has came on board, and Tony Jarvis Appliances come on board. Man, we got, it's just so many sponsors that, it's not a lot of them, but they've been with me for a long time, man. And the races, I bet you I've got racers that's been following this Little Guy National since day one. They've been to every race. It's awesome. And it's like, if they miss a race, it's like it's unheard of, and it's like, my wife talks about it all the time. She says, these people have been following you for years. I'm like, yeah, they're not following me. They follow the race. I'm just putting them on, you know what I mean? If you do this for a paycheck, it's the wrong business. So I'm telling you.
Amen.
Gotta love
All
it,
right,
man.
guys.
But
I
all right,
appreciate
guys.
it.
Look, appreciate y'all having us on.
You guys have a good.
All right, later.
All right, y'all have a
Have a
great
good
night.
night. Appreciate.
All right,
Thanks
bye.
everybody for
See
joining
you
us.
guys. Right.
Mhm.
Yep. Thank.